Hey, heads up. We talk about serious, sometimes uncomfortable shit on this podcast. But don't worry, hopefully you're gonna laugh your ass off.
Coping chaos.
Thanks for joining us for Coping Chaos, a podcast about coping with the chaos of daily life while also navigating the uncertainties of mental illness. I'm Leia Williams.
And I'm KJ Cervi. We're not medical professionals in any way, but we like to say we're not experts, but experts in our own mental health. We want to have a conversation with anyone who's been affected by mental illness in any way.
So last episode was a pretty heavy episode where we talked about a lot of the negatives that we've experienced with mental illness. But today's episode is positive. We're going to be discussing positive things that we've experienced due to our mental illnesses.
Yeah, and this, we admit, was a little harder.
Oh, yeah. A little challenging.
Of a topic, but we do want to dive into that. Once we started thinking about it, it was nice to see that there are positives we could think of.
Yeah, exactly. Because at first I thought this might not work.
Yeah, because we really did want to balance the last episode. We do start off with our big stories, and I hope you guys are okay with that. If that's harder for you, let us know. But we like to start off with our big stories that we've been affected by whatever topic, and then kind of go into the nuances. But again, this is your podcast too.
Yeah, so. Exactly. We want to hear.
I know the last episode, we just jumped right into some heavy stuff. But we just want to share with you the truth, so.
Exactly.
All right. Well, do you want to share some positive experiences that you've had with your mental health, with doctors, different people in your life?
Yeah, definitely. I know that the last episode I was talking about, a lot of my negative stories were about the mental hospital. And today I'm going to be talking about that as well, but it's a positive thing about the mental hospital. I feel like one of the big positives, the first thing really that had popped into my mind was when I was in the hospital meeting other people. And that's actually probably why this podcast is such a great idea to me, because it really helped me to meet other people with other illnesses, other mental issues that they were trying to fix themselves, and just have the conversation with them. And it felt just so much more normal than trying to explain to somebody who didn't understand on that level. Yes. And there was one particular person who was there for autism, but he had severe autism and self-harm thoughts and such. And I just remember we really clicked, not, romantically or anything like that, but just like we really clicked so well and kind of like helped each other get through this experience. And he was actually there probably a year by the time I got there. And then I was there 6 months and he was still there when I left.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, it definitely was one of those things where I was like, how long am I going to be here? But But it was so nice to just have that person. And I don't even think he even knows the effect that he had on me. But I feel like that was such a positive thing in such a negative time for me that it really stands out for me as one of the positive experiences that I've had while still dealing with my severe mental issues. But
I like that because we do talk about people's negative effect on us when they don't know.
Yeah.
And so having a positive effect when they don't know what they're doing, I think it's good to think about that as well.
Yeah, exactly. But I guess the next thing I will talk about too just kind of stems from this at the hospital was when I first went into the very first hospital that I went into, I had no idea about anything to do with mental health or depression or anxiety or anything. And they taught me what coping mechanisms are. They taught me about triggers. They taught me things that I need to utilize in order to function somewhat in this life of chaos. I really feel like that's a positive thing for me, knowing and recognizing, hey, this is really drawing my attention and helping me to push those bad thoughts further back in my mind temporarily. So I hyper-focus on it because I know that that's a coping mechanism and I need to take advantage,
Right.
while I can. So that's definitely something that I think of as a positive experience or learning experience that I got, even in a hard place. So,
wow, yeah, I like that.
But how about yourself, KJ? I'd love to hear yours as well.
Well, I was surprised I was able to think of some, and more than I thought. So
That's a pleasant surprise.
So I had talked about back in 2020 during the pandemic, I started seeing a psychiatrist, and she was really cool. She really helped me. We did try lots of meds, of course, as you know, none of them worked. But but that's not the main point. The thing is that she researched everything, and like she was like, "Oh, you have Ehlers-Danlos syndrome? Well, she would stay at home. She would read studies on how Ehlers-Danlos and depression were linked and things that have helped.
Just putting in extra effort and energy.
Yeah.
That's so amazing.
It felt really good. And at that point, I still had the bipolar diagnosis, so I think that was a focus. And so even though it didn't lead to anything, it did give me that spark of, oh, someone can care.
Yeah, so it's not... Nobody cares. There are people out there that exist that actually could help if I can find them.
Yeah. And, she put in the effort that she didn't have to. So that was really positive. I think, I was sad when she left that practice. Yeah. So I don't know. I definitely think of that as a positive. Another thing that I think of is, again, it may not seem mental illness, but my pain doctor that I saw, she was super knowledgeable again about Ehlers-Danlos and my symptoms and how pain, and she even would ask me, well, do you have this? And I'm like, yes, is that related? And she's like, yeah. So she was really helpful, and referred me to a lot of things that helped a little bit, some that didn't, but just feeling so comfortable in there with her, like she knew her stuff.
And it sounds like she actually listened to you when you gave her input on them too, because you know how some doctors will not.
Yeah, one thing. Oh, I should have said this isn't a negative, but I won't go into it. But I had to do the bilateral injections, steroid injections in my lower spine. And I had to do both sides. And, she had referred me to do that. I did it. I had a horrible experience. I came back and told her. She was like, okay, what are the things? And she's like, well, why don't you go to this doctor this time? And then we'll do this and this. And so then I went, and it was a totally different experience.
Oh, good.
It still hurt because...
Oh, yeah, because that's a painful procedure.
This is a common thing with Ehlers-Danlos, but none of the, lidocaine, any of the canes, they don't really work on me, so they don't numb me as much. So it still hurt, but everything else about the experience was really, really different. And so, yeah, she really listened to me.
Oh, that's so nice.
I haven't been back in a long time, and I need to go. But I had an appointment right when I was going into the hospital, and then I just haven't gone back. But yeah, she was a really positive thing in my journey.
Oh, that's so nice. Especially when you see so many doctors, it can be so discouraging.
Yeah.
They're very similar in the negative things that they say. So to have a positive experience with a doctor, I need to hear that. Honestly, I need to hear it. I need it.
Well, you're in Minnesota, so let's try.
Yes, that's
start
true.
Fresh.
That's true.
Yeah, and then similar to what Leia had said, when I was in the hospital, when I got in, there was a group of a few people who really welcomed me, and I think I mentioned I was laughing all the time because there was a really hilarious person, but I was like, I'm not better, she's just really funny. And
because you can be happy and sad simultaneously. It is possible.
So most of those people got discharged, and then I tried to be as nice, and welcoming when other people came in. And then there's one friend who came in, and she was just really awesome, and she was really appreciative of, us welcoming her in. So now that we are out, she has made us a group. There's a few of us that we're in.
Oh, cool.
And, we've gotten together in person. We have group texts. We check in on each other once in a while.
Oh, that's nice.
And like you said, it's nice because we all understand what was going on.
And you know that the sympathy coming from that person is genuine because
Yeah.
they actually understand what you're feeling.
Definitely genuine. And that kind of reminds me, I haven't really interacted with them, so I should check in.
Here's your sign from the universe.
Yeah. Okay, and I want to sneak in one more quick one.
Oh, yeah.
So my current therapist, my OCD therapist, it really feels good, feels seen, as they say.
Yeah.
And, yeah, it's just been really good to have a good doctor. We were doing some OCD stuff, and now we're focusing on trauma, and then we'll come back to the OCD. But also, she said she might listen. So, hi, if you're
Hello,
listening.
doctor.
I don't know if I should have my therapist listen. No, but hi, Margaret. So, yeah, those are just some positive stories I can think of. And I'm glad I could think of that.
Yeah, seriously.
This is kind of like a therapeutic episode.
Yeah, it actually is. I feel like all of these episodes are therapeutic for us. So
definitely. So on our list, I think we kind of both touched on the positive aspect of empathy and care for others.
yeah, just knowing that somebody understands and cares about how you're feeling can really make a difference in mental health. And I feel like because we experience that and we know that on a personal level, it actually makes, and this is a positive, it makes empathy easier. It makes it easier for us to empathize, to look at the perspective from another person, to care about others unconditionally, because we want that for ourselves too.
Yeah.
So I think of that's a positive thing, because especially in the world that we are living in now, I feel empathy is not as common as it used to be.
No,
so
it's really sad. And it's been really easy for me to put myself in other people's shoes.
Yeah.
And, and as I've grown older, it's easier. But there have been experiences that I've had or I've seen about others that have just really solidified that.
Yeah.
I'm just reminded of a story of when my kids were really young. I was taking care of a couple other kids, and we really didn't have any money, and we had to go to the food bank. So,
which is, there's nothing wrong with that.
Right?
When you need food, go to the food bank.
Yeah, exactly.
There should be no
stigma.
Yes, exactly.
Because, I mean, I've had to do it, throughout my life different times, and as a kid growing up.
Yeah, that was very common for my family.
Yeah.
So,
and so I went to the food bank. Lucas stayed in the car with my kids and the other kids. And so I went, and then I had all these bags. I mean, not all the, but
yeah, I mean, as much as you can get, really, it's never
and
very
I had
much.
to walk up this hill to go around to where he was parked, and so it's really hard. Again, I'm physically disabled too.
Yeah.
So I go up this hill, I turn to where they're parked, and then there's these, and it's dark, and then there's a couple of people at the bus stop, and they're like, oh, well, I guess it's really nice to go to the food bank and then get in your nice car, which it wasn't a nice car, but
I guess if you don't have one, maybe.
Exactly. And I do get that, but they were judging me that, like, maybe I didn't need it, and
it's like, you don't know my life, you don't know me. How can you possibly think that that's okay to say? Like, what?
So that really, like, clicked in my head, like, oh, you really don't know what people are doing. You see one little snippet or whatever.
Exactly.
And the example I like to use is like, oh, if you see someone who's struggling, maybe, not having a house, and you see them with a really nice purse, and you like to, like, judge that. I'm like, there's a million things. Maybe she got it as a gift. Maybe.
Yeah.
It's the
maybe
one
from
thing,
the thrift store for $5 or something, and it was half off. Or, you don't know.
The one thing she didn't sell of all her.
Of everything to survive. Like, you just don't know anybody's story until you've heard it. So you can't judge until you've heard. And even then you can't. Because
I know. And
so.
And I think really from having all my experiences with mental health and physical health, that it really is like, okay, people don't see everything. They don't know everything. So I don't know everything.
Yeah. And it helps you to not judge because sometimes I feel like initially as humans, we want to judge people, but I feel like reminding yourself of those experiences and things really helps, positively helps us to be able to understand everybody and to be open to not judge right away and uplift instead.
Yeah, I think that really shows also, like, our self-awareness, understanding what our behaviors are.
Yeah.
And validation.
Yeah, validation is so important with mental health. This is my opinion, but I really feel like feeling validated just calms something inside of me. To truly feel validated for the things I'm feeling or the things I'm saying, and to feel somebody else is completely understanding that, it helps so much. It really does.
Yeah, and then it's like, I'm not making this up. I'm not crazy. I'm not lazy. You know,
yeah.
There's something I can attach to it. I know what it is. Even if it doesn't totally calm me down, at least I understand what is happening.
Yeah. So that's definitely a positive.
Yeah. Knowing is a big part of healing, I think.
Yeah. Yeah. But learning about how we live differently, but we all have common ground, you know?
Yeah.
So I think that's very hard to focus on that, but from our perspective, it's easier. We get that a lot of these things come easier to us just because of the fact that we have mental illness, it's crazy to think that there are positives, but yeah, that's definitely a lot.
Well, I think with learning about how we live differently, I think we live in a good time. I mean, there's still a lot to do, but but we can seek information and learn from professionals. We have support groups.
Much more tools than there used to be.
Yeah, and we have even TikTok. I've been following OCD people all of a sudden.
Oh, yeah. Watching videos of people that are in the thick of it and sharing, brave enough to share their experiences. It's really so helpful and validating.
Yeah, and that's, why we're here too.
Yeah, exactly. And that's probably what helped prompt it as well, because I do follow a few people that share their experiences, and it helps me. I'm really curious to not only see how they live so that if I were to meet somebody in a similar circumstance, I would know how to react, but also just the similarities between what they're struggling with and what I'm struggling with just really helps. It really helps to see that.
Yeah, I think, I'm not quite there yet, but it does help in like self-confidence,
Yeah, well, it's like knowing, I know myself better now than I ever did. I understand. I maybe don't know myself perfectly, but I do understand so much more about why I'm doing what I'm doing. Even if I can't stop it, at least I know why. And I feel like that is actually very helpful. That's a positive, in my opinion. It helps our confidence and feelings of self-worth temporarily, you know.
Well, I also think something that if people think about it, is really common is that it gives us inspiration for creativity.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
I know, like, a lot of comics say, the trauma is what makes them funny.
Yeah. I've actually heard that a lot, so.
Yeah, I know, like, things that I've been creative. I mean, this podcast is part of
exactly.
it. But
we couldn't do this without you, that's for sure.
Well, thank you. I edit another podcast, and that really gives me joy. And if you think editing is not creative, it really is.
Oh, yeah. Just watching the process is like, what the heck? That is intense. There's so many aspects to it.
Yeah, so I've been doing that. I've been doing so I went to school for video production, so that's kind of my background. I don't think I mentioned that before, but my husband is in a band, and I made a video for one of their songs.
Oh, I loved that video. It was good.
So, yeah.
But you're right. Yeah, it definitely helps with inspiration and creativity. And for me, I'm a writer myself. And I like to joke that I worry so much, I can come up with, horrible twists in stories because all I have to do is sit there for a minute, imagine it's me. And then I can think of 500 terrible scenarios that'll come out of whatever it is that I'm writing about. Also, I feel like conversations come more easily to me because I'm constantly trying to make up like if I know I'm going to go to the store and talk to a cashier, a lot of times I'm going to practice that conversation 100%. 3 or 4 times before I even go in the store. And I think that doing that has helped it so that I can write out conversations in books much easier. Though I hate journaling. I'm going to throw that out there. I don't like it. I don't know why, but it helps a lot of people, I know. So yeah. I just don't know why it doesn't help me. But
not my thing. But it is nice to find a little bit of joy and dive right in.
Well, and I think it's also the hyper-focus part. It helps me to just trick myself into not thinking about pushing the thoughts, like I said, to the very back of my mind, and helps me to not focus on that and hyper-focus on whatever it is that I'm in the moment working on.
Yeah, like I know I keep bringing it back, but like with us creating this podcast, we would keep being so happy, and we wanted to just jump right in and do it now because we're like, we don't hold on to that, happiness and excitement. And honestly, we've been recording a couple episodes in a row, and we're still like giddy more and more.
Yeah, exactly. It's actually feeling more liberating and exciting every time we talk more. So I really am enjoying it.
Yeah, definitely. Well, what kind of things have happened in your chaotic corner this week?
Yeah, it's the Chaos Corner!
Well, I have a good one this time.
Okay, let's hear it.
Well, like I said, I live in this really small place, and one of our windows is right at the parking lot. So, and we have like 2 parking spaces right in front of my window, which one of them is a handicap space and one's a regular space. So the handicap space is usually empty, which is great. But this other space, there's this person who lives at the place that we live at. He parked his car there every day, and he would be standing right at my window, like right at the window, not even like an inch away.
Oh no!
Because he'd park it, because the car space is just so close to the window, and it freaked me out. I was freaking out, and it was every day for hours, and I couldn't open my curtains without him stare, and he wouldn't even move. Like if I opened the curtains, he'd still be standing there, and still he's usually working on the car, but he'd keep looking in, and I'm like, this is creepy, this is terrible. So I go and I'm so upset about it. And the first thing I do is I tell Ryan, I'm like, please call the desk people and tell them that there's this dude and it's freaking me out at the window.
Oh, yeah.
Because I don't want to have to tell anybody. I don't feel comfortable with that. So he does. He calls, but nobody answers, of course. So nobody's at the front desk. So I'm like...
Well, don't blame them. I'm a hotel
No,
front desk
I know. No, but I just like, of course, with my luck,
No, I know. I'm just being silly.
I went out to the hallway and I searched for the woman that was working, who I just have always from the beginning felt like she just hates me because I swear she gives me these looks of just, But, I can't judge because some people's faces just look that way. They call it resting bitch face or whatever. But, like... They just look angry even though they're not. And I feel like, I don't know if that's her or not, but to me, I take it so personally when I say hello and they just look at you, and I'm like, ah. So I go up to her and I tell her what's going on. And then she's like, oh, is it a purple car? And I'm like, what? No, it's not. Should I be worried about a purple car? What? And then she's like, I know who you're talking about. He's an old man that's lived here for a long time. And she's like, there's nothing wrong. There's no harm. He's fine. And I'm like, yeah, but I don't want him there. I don't want him staring in. I'm not comfortable. I have children, I don't know this man's past or anything, and I can only think of the negative things, I'm hyper-focusing and spiraling. So I telling her, like, it would really mean a lot to me if you could, not have him park there, or at least if he's parked there, don't have him hanging out at the car, that's the only thing. I don't care if he parks there, but he's out there for hours just looking under the hood, standing there, just staring into space. I don't even know what he was doing exactly because I end up closing the curtain. But she was like, "Okay, fine," and like,
oh, man.
Like the way she said it was like she was so annoyed, and I'm like, "Ugh, I hate this. This is exactly what I was trying to avoid."
Yeah.
I don't want to piss off anybody that works here or around here. Anyway, she goes out, she talks to the man. I see her talking to him, and he's still out there. But anyway, she comes back in and is like, I did it for you. And I'm like, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And she's like, yeah, sure, cool. And then she walks off. And then 2 hours later, I go outside to smoke and I come back in. And as I'm coming in, I can hear her saying to our the maintenance man,
oh, no.
Oh, yeah, I didn't get the room cleaned yet because somebody interrupted me. And I knew she was talking about me. I knew it.
Damn.
And then she didn't know I was there in the hallway, right? So I'm walking up behind, and I'm trying to be quiet, hoping I can just get in the door so she doesn't see that I heard it, because I don't know why, but it's like I didn't want her to know I heard it. And so I'm sneakily going to the door, but then she turns around and sees me, and her face was like, oh, and I'm like, I did not want to annoy her. I didn't want to make things harder for her. It freaked me out, So anyway, it's a longer one, but yeah, that was my story.
Wow.
So
well, I'm pretty impressed because I would not have said anything. I would have just kept my
Right.
throat shut,
I think
but
it just like I all of a sudden it bothered me so badly that I had to. Though it's surprising I did it because there's a lot of times I'll just tolerate it.
yeah,
so.
it's so tough for me. Even not like necessarily confrontation, but even just bringing something up. I'll be like, "Oh, this isn't what I ordered, but I'm just going to eat it." Or
Yeah,
you know.
yeah.
So, I'm impressed. You said something, and does
And I
he
don't
park?
think I would have been able to even 10 years ago. So
Yeah. Does he park somewhere else?
yes, he no longer parks in front of my window, so that's a positive thing, and
Yeah.
it did work out well for me.
But that was stressful.
Yeah, and I still think about it because every time, and this woman, she works there most of the time, so like I always see her all the time, and all I can think of is how I annoyed her, and I don't know. Now I don't even say anything. I just walk quietly past or say sorry if I'm stepping on the floor she's mopping or something. But I just tried, not say anything, but it definitely affected me. It was so crazy. And I'm just like, why does it have to be like this?
Yeah, well, I'm proud of you.
Oh, thank you. But, well, let's go ahead and hear yours. I'm sorry. I'm like ruminating on it, but yeah.
Okay, well, I have an amazing 18-year-old autistic daughter. She just turned 18 not even a month ago. And so she's still a senior in high school. So bedtime can be really, really terrible.
Yeah.
And it's hard because, she's 18, so she wants to be more independent. We have a strict sleep schedule for her because she has a sleep disorder.
Yeah.
So it's hard because, like, when our other daughter was that age, she kind of had, a little more
Freedom in that area.
Yeah, because we do have her turn in her devices at a specific time. It's not her bedtime. Like, she can go and she reads, but it ends up being her bedtime because she takes melatonin.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
Spoiler alert, we have recorded this kind of early. So for us, it was just winter break just ended. So during winter break, we did let her have them all night. And, because again, she is 18.
Yeah.
She should have that freedom. But then a couple days before school, I think it was on Friday, and, school started on Monday.
Yeah.
We had her start with her weekend turn-in time just to start getting her back into, the routine. She didn't love that.
Oh, yeah.
2 weeks of, having freedom, and then...
Yeah, that would be bad.
And we're not... I don't know. It's hard because, again, our older daughter, she kind of did have her devices all the time. Although she also didn't wake up on time and, had a hard time in school. But whatever, that's different. But she was really having a rough time. She got really elevated and worked up. She couldn't even grasp anything or say anything, so she had to take her rescue med. Luckily, I think, like I've mentioned before, her meds work really well and really quick for her when she takes it at the right time. If she's like way past, it does take a little longer. But she came back up and she was still really angry, and she's like, I need to at least listen to a podcast. And we're like, okay, we'll find one of your Bluetooth speakers and, we can shoot it on there. And she's like, I don't know where they are. And then I tried to be like, okay, we got you bone conduction headphones. It should be a little easier for you to lay down with those. And she didn't know where that was. And
those are cool.
Yeah. And so I gave her mine, which I got her ones from Amazon that were cheaper. I got my Raycon ones. So I was like, all right, go get my backpack. You can try mine. And so it took her a while to pair it. And then she just got super frustrated and gave up and went to her bed and cried for a while. But then she fell asleep. But it's so hard because I was struggling too. I was having a hard time even before any of this. It's my bedtime too.
Yeah.
And that's when I struggle the most because, like, everything from the day is just, like, running through my head and on my chest.
Yeah.
So, we have autistic children, and my daughter, she has...
well, structure and routine is very important for autism. So
it is.
But it's also a double-edged sword.
Well, and she also has severe depression and anxiety. So dealing with another person struggling while you're struggling.
Oh, that's hard.
It's so
hard.
hard.
That is so hard.
And as a mother, that's
You're
all
trying
you
your
want
hardest
do.
to not react in the way that you want to with your mental illness the way that it is, or your mental health the way that it is.
You have to really hang on to it.
Yeah.
And rein it back. So, yeah, that's what happened. And, you know, it's a struggle, but, you know, it was fine the next day. You know, it's just fine. But
and it's so important for routine that you just have to remind yourself that when in the hardest of time.
With us, though, you know, we understand that. So we were like, for a week and a half, we're like, okay, this is the plan on Friday, you know, and then like a few days later, remember on Friday, we're doing, you know, trying, because not like just like the day of, okay, you're going back to turn-in time, and that's that's fun.
I think it's always harder when it's something involving our kids, for sure. So
yeah. Well, before we wrap up, I did kind of skip over something here. We just want to talk about, like, no matter the underlying sadness, heaviness, we can experience happy moments.
Yeah, exactly. It's maybe not in the same way that other people that aren't experiencing what we're experiencing are, but there is the happiness. It's just the underlining sadness that's just constantly there, unfortunately. But we can be happy, we can laugh, we can joke, we can have fun. It's just, like I said, the underlining sadness doesn't really ever go away. So. Right.
And it is a conflict between the sadness and happiness. It's so confusing.
Yeah.
To other people and to me.
Oh, yeah. My husband's like, you were laughing a minute ago and you seem so happy. How are you bawling on the floor in the fetal position right now? And I'm just like, well, I don't know. I don't even know, but this happens. It's what it is.
Yeah. So. I went to my daughter's choir concert on Thursday, and I love her. I want to support her. She's awesome, but I have to sit on those stupid chairs.
Oh, yeah.
It's 7:00 when it starts, and
there's a bunch of people around.
Yeah. And I'm uncomfortable, and I just want to go snuggle in my bed.
Well, especially with your back pain and stuff.
It's really bad. I brought a little cushion, but that doesn't really help. But, there was moments where I was crying and stuff, but I was happy to see her and happy to watch her do her thing. And
sometimes that's the only happiness we have, and that we have to just embrace it, because otherwise it wouldn't be coping, that's for sure.
Yeah, well, and it's similar. One of the things that's bringing me the most joy lately is going to Lucas's shows.
Oh, yeah, I really enjoyed when I went.
Yeah, I was excited.
Was great.
You got to go.
Yeah, energy, so great.
And I'm just so proud of him. It's what he's wanted for a long time. I really love the band. I love the music. And I'm not just saying that because he's been in other bands. I was like, I mean, I still like live music and like to see it, but this stuff I listen to when I'm at work. So, yeah, like things like that. There's a happy, but like even then, my brain is still feeding me those really negative harm talk, and I can like distracted and be happy, but it's still
or you can hear something
there.
Like, you don't deserve to be feeling this happy. I've had that so many times. You don't deserve to be feeling this happy right now. And I'm just like, what? Why do I feel this way?
Definitely. I'll say one more thing. Being, and I think I mentioned this earlier, but being really excited about this podcast has been something too. Like, just being really happy, but like that doesn't mean I'm not like having this constant thoughts in my head, or even after we did one or two, we're like, are people going to listen to this?
We'll re-listen.
But, I mean, I think those are some positive things.
Well, I think a big positive of that, going off of that, is the fact that we're going to have people understand us so much better after all of this. Really, the ones that want to.
Surprise!
So, yes. Yep. For those of you listening that are family, you can close your mouths now.
And so again, we want to hear from you guys. Like, what do you find positive? What are some stories, or what do you want to know? Some questions that come up. We have lots of ways for you to contact us. We're on Facebook and Instagram under Coping Chaos Podcast. And then we also have an email address, copingchaospodcast. Sorry, that's hard to say. copingchaospodcast@gmail.com. And all this will be in the show notes. We also would love to ask you to review our podcast wherever you listen.
Please, please.
It just really does help us improve, and it helps us reach a wider community.
Exactly.
All right. Well, we got another one done, Leia.
We're rocking it. We're rocking it.
So, yeah, please let us know what you think, what you're feeling about this. We're enjoying. We're just so excited every time we get to record another one of these.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm so looking forward to when we can hear from other people, their perspectives and thoughts and stories. I'm really excited about that. I definitely feel like it's going to help everyone. So,
yeah, I think it's going to improve our views and everything.
And understandings of just
yeah,
the chaos of life.
Totally. Well, the biggest thing we want everyone to know is you're not alone in this.
Exactly.
We want this to be a safe space to share our experiences as a community.
And remember, we love you guys. Thanks for listening to today's episode of Coping Chaos. And as always, we will see you on the next episode.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Coping Chaos is hosted and produced by KJ Cervi and Leia Williams. Audio mixed and edited by KJ Cervi. Our theme song is by Lucas Cervi and Leia Williams. Artwork is created by Lucas Cervi. You can now follow Coping Chaos on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and TikTok at Coping Chaos Podcast. We have also started a Patreon at Coping Chaos Podcast, where you can help support us and have access to exclusive content. Please feel free to rate and review wherever you stream. Send us your questions, stories, and Chaos Corner moments to copingchaospodcast@gmail.com.